you may see that setup and wonder what's going on. You may see that setup and look at the thumbnail and look at the title and still be wondering what's going on. Step one of doing the skid plate is knocking the machine on its side. I've heard you don't have to. You can go up and down laying underneath the machine, but that seems like a huge pain in the ass, and this seems a lot easier. The skid plate we're installing on the 2020 RZR Pro XP is the Trail Armor. 1/2 inch thick. It's the non-trimmed variety. This one kind of has like a rock slider built in. You can also get these where they're trimmed to accommodate the Polaris rock sliders that go here, but on this machine that's going to be covered up. So if you decide later on down the line that you want that and you have this skid plate, you're going to have to trim it yourself. So the logic here with tipping it over is going to be dude's machine hooked up to that strap there, Steph's machine hooked up to that strap there. Dude pulls this way, and then we have Steph's as support, and as it finds the tipping point we can slowly let it down onto the hay bale.
Dude, you're not supposed to review whose machine that is.
This will be after that.
Oh.
So when they watch this, they already know whose machine this is. So that's what we're gonna do for tipping it. It seems like it should go great. So here's what we're replacing. This piece of shit. Now the new one will be full coverage back here and up front here, where from the factory you get nothing. And then obviously it's not paper thin like this one. We had some comments asking how to get the factory one off. So we are going to show you that as well. So we got to pull the factory hardware out. They're all 10 mil. And if you're doing a kit like this, hold on to that hardware because all that stuff gets reused. So this back panel is just bolts, and then that'll fall off. It's this upper part that can be a pain in the ass. The front you can usually yank off like that. So these are easy. Let's see if I can, but you see that little guy there? That just kind of pops on there. The rear is the same, but you kind of have to come out this way and this way. So before I was using pry bars. We'll see. I'll show you, or dude will show you. And I missed all that. So you can get the front off, and then the back has that little half guy. So once you get it around the bolt and push back, it'll pop off. That was way easier with the machine on the side versus when I've done it with the machine just sitting on the ground. But that's all that holds it on. It's just those stupid clips once you get the hardware out. Dude, what are you looking at?
Your grease that you got slobbered everywhere.
Easy, guy. So here's the back part of obviously the new skid plate, 1/2 inch thick. Here's your factory one. That is, what, maybe 3/16?
Yeah.
Something like that, 1/8 inch. It's
Maybe 3/16.
yeah. Whatever it is, it's garbage. You start with putting the center sections and some of the existing hardware. We have, I think they call them the slider brackets on each side there. But following the instructions, they'll have each panel will be labeled panel A, B, C, etc. And they have it etched on each individual piece, so you don't really have to sit there and try to figure out what the hell you're looking at. So that's nice. So choosing a skid plate, I did a lot of research, and everyone recommends the factory UTV or the Trail Armor. So I had it narrowed down to those two. One of the biggest things on the cheaper ones, even though they're the same plastic, same thickness, way cheaper, a lot of people on forums, they have issues in areas like this. You know, so you have the same material, same thickness, but nothing lines up. So I've seen where a lot of people had to put a torch or a heat gun on this just to get it to bend correctly. Where on the two big companies, you pay more, but the fit and finish is a lot better. The kit is a lot of factory hardware, and then the U-bolts, and those are just regular 1/4-20s. And then they have some other supplied hardware. But they do have the self-drilling screws. And so far, most of them have gone into existing holes, so they went in easy. We did find one that is not, so we drilled a little pilot hole just to help get it started. Holy. Good God.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Kidding me?
A lot of boring math later.
Dead? It's probably hot and somewhat dead.
Somewhat haggard.
Yeah.
Hot.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's cooked. Dude, is it going? Now it's too big. that's it. She's on there. Besides that one's just eating up all the hardware. And I'm gonna have to order another screw, and we'll revisit that, but until then, that's it. Full coverage up front. To the rear. Still have the holes to get to the drain plugs. And there's a little rock slider-ish type deal. Now that the skid plate's done on my machine, you know, we're not on a trip or anything, but I wanted to close the project out, so we got to test it, and we're at Dudes. So only thing we can really come up with was to do this. Gonna take some logs, make a little obstacle course, and see if we can get that skid plate to take a few licks. See how she handles, see how it works. This will also be a bit of a test for the new A-arms too, clearance wise. So they're not rocks, they're logs, but it took a couple licks, and everything looks all right. I think I didn't look underneath, dude did a full inspection, and you can't see
There's just one scuff mark.
anything. It's a scuff, it's fine. That's it for the skid plate. I forgot to film this part that day, and before I let you go, I also forgot to film something else on the skid plate during the process of doing it. I'll show you that now. So that's the factory skid plate. We cut it here because with the new one there's a gap here, and you can cut this and sandwich this in between the chassis and the new skid plate to fill that gap. The machine's not at my house right now, so we're gonna teleport over to Dude's house, and then I'll show you the gap I'm talking about. I totally forgot about it, and I knew some people do that. It's not something you have to do, but it'll just be a cleaner look and stop shit from getting in there. But I just wasn't thinking about it, so we finished the project, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I wanted to do that. So we cut it, and next time I gotta remove the skid plate for something, then we'll probably address that, but I wanted to show you guys that, so let's go to Dudes, and I'll show you that gap. right, we've teleported the dudes. And here's the gap that I'm talking about here. So you can take your factory skid plate, cut the front half off, and sandwich it in here to fill that gap. All right, that's it for the skid plate. When we sandwich that piece in, I'll show you, of course. But until then, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. And we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.